Brain Failure.
Yeah, dude. Let me pull up the year on this one. Do you have the year available already?
Dude, I think, you know what? Hold on just a second.
I think it's 04.
No. Yeah, you know.
No?
Hold on a second. American Dreamer. When did this shit come out? When did this shit come? Oh yeah, 2005.
5. I was close.
Interesting.
Yeah,
A few other albums that came out before this too.
yeah. This wasn't their first album. This is the one that really, like, at least from my perspective, this was the one that put them on the map. Because before this album came out, I didn't know who they were.
You know who produced it?
Lars.
No, the guy from Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, really? Ken or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it looks like Mark Unseen was also on the record at some point.
Yo, I'm supposed to be talking. Dude, what a weird little like line of things. So we're start talking about Forgotten. I just recently hung out with Gordy on here and talked. We get to Brain Failure. You mentioned Dropkick Murphys. I'm thinking, oh, they got a new album out. And then you go, Mark Unseen. Gordy told me that Mark's got a new band and might be jumping on the show too. So we'll see, man. Shout out Mark Unseen. Hopefully it comes on. I would love to talk to that guy, dude. I love that dude's music. He's been in my life for a long time. So shout out the Unseen and A Global Threat. And then he said a few other bands too. But dude, this is like a 77 punk rock classic, bro. From China, from Beijing, China, dude.
Yeah.
So in 2005, we get Brain Failure, American Dreamer. Oh boy, we have a lot to talk about. It is weird too, because none of it's like, earth shattering. But like, I'll start the conversation like this. Just on a scale of quality, like just how good are these songs? Is this a good record? If you didn't know who this band was, and somebody was like, "Hey man, I'm trying to get into some punk," you could throw this as fast as you could throw anything else to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's got such a variety of sounds. Like, you want variety? This is the one that's got variety.
It does have a lot.
It's interesting because it does have a ton in common with the Forgotten. So it's weird that it's like simultaneously like the same kind of record and vastly different.
So while researching this band, because I didn't even know who they were until you brought them up to me, I went down the rabbit hole of the history of punk in China and kind of how, like, I mean, it was a communist country after the revolution, right? In the 60s,
right.
Yeah. So it's like the ability for people to like really, I guess you could say, express themselves through rebellion was at times heavily censored, right?
Right.
So being in a punk band in China wasn't an easy thing to do, right? Necessarily.
I was thinking about that.
They had to come up with like a lot of like subversive ways to like, and I went down the rabbit hole of kind of looking up how punk even began to take shape in like a foothold. You don't really have like rocker fools out there until like the 80s, right?
Right.
And then 90s,
they're like 30 years behind us for sure.
So
musically.
So it was just interesting to kind of see, and I'm gonna keep going down this like rabbit hole actually.
Because good. That's
the way that they were able to, but without getting too far off topic, there's a whole fascinating like topic of like, so they weren't getting American products there. They're not getting CDs and tapes and shit like the media, right? Like, how are they finding this music? So what would end up happening is these like ships would be going to China, cargo ships, and there would be CDs that were fucked up or damaged, or tapes that had like shit wrong with them,
Okay. Like misprints and like just screw up CDs. Okay.
Well, not even screw ups, but they were like, what do you call them?
Like the throwaway ones.
Yeah.
Or damaged. Okay. Yeah. Damaged.
So then and they were meant to be used as raw materials to be turned into something else. So then they would be sold on the black market. So a lot of the young people in China, the way that they found out about music was through these fucking albums being sold in the black market, essentially, that were supposed to be like crushed and like used to make something else, Yeah.
Dude, that's cool. Like some of the coolest information that we've come up with on this channel. That's awesome.
Dakou, call it Dakou.
Okay, so let's put a pin in that exact topic for a second, because I'm going to get to something.
Like I said, I didn't want to go too far off topic, but
no, that is important, and it's going to come up again in just a minute.
Yeah,
but I'm serious. I got something that actually really falls in line with that comment. But this album, it's a clear like there's a clear foundation of sounds from The Clash and Rancid.
Mhm.
But I was hearing a lot of early 2000s East Coast, specifically Boston punk, like that band Far From Finished, Dropkick Murphy stuff,
Oh, yeah.
all throughout this stuff. Even in the dude's vocals, you can hear a very definitive Tim Armstrong, Mick Jones, Joe Strummer, specifically Joe and Tim. You could hear their vocals all up in this dude's like cadence and inflection. Even like his voice sounded kind of like him. A little deeper maybe, but it sounded so much like those guys. It was awesome. Like listen, I hadn't heard this in a long while, man. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so if you go back and you look at the lyrics for Secondhand Pogo, over in China especially, and I don't I'm not very knowledgeable about that part of the world, if I'm honest. So I'm going to say things here that maybe they're not incorrect, maybe they're not correct. So if they are incorrect, please just understand that I'm not saying anything wrong on purpose. I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful. Okay, anybody out there is watching this, I spoiler alert, love this album. So like this is just my interpretation of some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they like the style and the lifestyle of American and UK punk rock. I'm not 100% sure that they 100% understand it though, because all their lyrics are like about the style and like the jeans and like the hair and like they're gonna pogo dance tonight. It's got the sound, it's got the look, doesn't have the same weight to the lyrics. Part of that is just going to be lost in translation. You hear American music, you're not from here, you just, oh, well, I like the Spiky Jacket thing. So we're going to write a song called Spiky Jacket, right? That's just kind of what they were doing, right? But, specifically in China, they live in a place that's really authoritarian. Excuse me, I can't say that word right now. Authoritarian. Good grief. So they may use punk as a more of a vehicle to escape the daily struggles and not necessarily fight against the daily struggles, right? It's more of an escapist song than it is like a rah, 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 get your people together and go march on the streets, right? This isn't union songs. This is like anthemic, like be yourself, have a good time songs. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, they couldn't actively speak out.
Okay, so that's why I was bringing it up, because you mentioned that and I didn't know that. So like, I don't know if I'm even articulating this right. It still means as much to those guys as it does to us, no doubt, bro. Like I have no doubt in my mind that these guys are like tried and true punk rock guys, right? This is no disrespect. They're awesome. The band's great and I love the music. I just think like I hear it and it's just so far, like lyrically, it's so different. Like it's just.
A friend of mine mentioned something to me. I asked him if he'd heard of this band, and he's like, yeah, so the bassist early on, the first bassist of this band, his dad was highly ranked in the Communist Party.
Really?
Yeah. So, he essentially had to quit the band.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so there's two punk scenes in China at the time. There was one in Wuhan where the COVID fucking virus. Right?
Dude, shout out Wuhan.
Yeah. And then the other one was Beijing.
Okay.
Right? The capital.
Yeah.
So, those are the two kind of burgeoning rock scenes in China at the time. And again, I'm just barely scratching the surface of learning about the history of fucking punk and rock in China. Sorry. What's that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say they're doing it for slightly different reasons, but it's like the same thing. It's still their lifestyle. It's still just as important, right? It's all about perspective. So like, I'm saying these things simply because I don't understand them, because I've never been there. I don't know anybody that's from China. And I'm just thinking, if I go based solely on this record, that's what I think. It's not, again, I really feel like people might take it the wrong way. I don't mean it to be.
No, I don't think anyone's thinking.
I'm being as complimentary as I can, because I sincerely mean complimentary things. Sorry. I'm really worried people are going to freak out and take this.
No, you're fine. I don't think you said anything that's out of pocket or bad. I'm just saying that, like.
Well, then let me fix that and just let you know.
We're going to start talking some real shit now.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's all good, dude. We're both doing that to each other.
So like, I think there's a lot of context here. The reason why I personally found this album to be more interesting is because of the context, right?
Well, I mean, interesting. Yeah, it might be more interesting. I don't know. That's a good word.
I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, The Forgotten, it's kind of like, okay, punk band from America, from California, check. Cool. Like, for what it is, great. Like, on a musical level, it's more identifiable to me in a lot of ways because, like, I'm from here.
Right.
And so is the band and all that shit. But you fucking throw into the mix a punk band from China. I've never heard any fucking punk bands from China in my life. So then, like, you know, I'm like, okay, great. Like, what does it look like to be a punk band in China? And I'm out here
That's
on
valid.
just looking shit up and like, oh, okay, just kind of going down the rabbit hole of the history of punk in China, because you can't really talk about the band as like an isolated incident, right? Like, they came from somewhere. So
Right.
me, like, I try to, like, you know, nerd out and be like the historian, if you will, with this shit. So I'm like, fuck, like, where did they come about? So this was one of the, like, seminal kind of like bands in terms of.
Well, I mean, they were huge, dude. This band was so big back then, man.
Right.
Like, I mean, and you know, in terms of like punk, they weren't, you know,
Totally.
they weren't like Green Day or Offspring or anything, but they were big, dude. And like, you know, it's Pedro. Sorry, he's over here digging in my clothes. What are you doing, bro? Stop it. Sorry about that, guys. You know, like,
Yeah.
man, I wish we could listen to this stuff on here. I may have to do like a Patreon thing for this. Yeah, again, ad-free podcasting coming to Patreon, like with this episode included. Yeah, dude, it's just about like, do you love it? And I'll say this, between the two albums, like, and I say this like, do you love it? Because I'm talking about punk. Like, if you love it, do it. If you don't. They're being just as genuine as anybody else. I'm just critiquing it because that's what my job is. I think that this album has the higher highs out of the two, but my personal opinion is that the other album's more consistent for me. Like, I like every single song on that album. This one's got a few I don't care for.
This record's kind of all over the. I mean,
this album is freaking great, though. Like, let me be very clear. It's a really good album, but it's
fine with it. It's a little long, but it's good.
It is a little long. It's 16 songs, 40 something minutes, 42 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. But you got to put that in context as well. 2005, band from China playing punk. They're going to have a long album. Like, back in the 2000s, every album was long. Do you remember when bands like put out 50, 60-minute albums all the time? It drove me nuts. Actually, you know what? It didn't. It does now. In retrospect, it irks me. A 48-minute album is like way too much.
Yeah, it's a little bit much. I agree.
I will say, though, the diversity in the sounds really makes this an easier listen.
Mm-hmm. Produced. It's very produced.
Very well produced. Very well played. The band did a great job. So I got some notes on some songs. Let me read them, and then you can respond if that's okay with you.
For sure. Go for it.
Coming to the USA, it's a legit classic punk song, dude. It's just, you know, lyrically, it's really catchy. Sure. Whether it's relatable to me or not, you know. You know what I'm saying? The melody in it, though, is like really, really nice. Like, that song it just sounds really good. And I found that happening a lot on this record. I would listen to it and be like, okay, maybe I don't relate to the lyrics, but everything about the song is exactly what I want in a song like this. It's really catchy. The melody's pretty. It's got some song lyrics that are easy to remember and sing along to.
Right.
I thought that was pretty important. Fun and Fight Tonight could literally be a song on Out Come the Wolves if you change the lyrics up. It sounds exactly like an Out Come the Wolves song, like down to the smallest degree. Again, maybe not so much lyrically, but the song is so much fun. Exactly the kind of song that I love. Adding a bunch of this to my personal playlist, by the way, and I'm looking to buy a CD of this ASAP, dude. The guitar on this song is very Lars-esque. There's a solo in there that sounds like something he would have played. Dude, the group chanting "Let's have fun." No, was it "Let's have fun"? Let's all fight tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's like a theme song for me and my friends in the second half of the 2000s, bro. Like, this is exactly what, man, I remember this album when I started listening to it. I had like, and I didn't have a ton of experience with it, but I did own the album back in the day, man. I had this record when it came out because this band got big quick. And I think I was like fighting against the fact that they were a Chinese band because I didn't realize they sang in a bunch of English. I thought it was going to be all being Chinese. And then I got the album and was like, I felt stupid. I was pretty late to the album. I probably didn't get it for 6, 7, 8 months after all my friends had it, you know?
Yeah.
Give Me the Cash, groovy Clash-inspired earworm.
Definitely.
Maybe the best song on the album, honestly.
I like that one.
It's got the whole package, dude. The lyrics are on point. Music's very catchy and melodic. It's got something to say. Honestly, that one's got a little heavier content. That one could have been a radio hit in the United States, in my opinion.
I think so.
Yeah, dude, I'm really glad we revisited this album. It was a, very what's the word when you have something that's nostalgic. It was very nostalgic, man. I enjoyed it. Is it called Such a Dangerous? Is that what the song's called?
Yeah.
That was not really my style, but even though it's not, I still found myself like kind of bobbing my head to it and like listening to it. It had a kind of like a Latin flavor though. It sounded more like a Left Alone song.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, dude, and in that song specifically, the guy's voice really, 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 really sounded like Strummer. Like it was a very heavy Clash vocal style. Hang Out Tonight had more of a gruff sound musically. That one sounded kind of like the U.S. Bombs or Swinging Utters. That's also one of the top songs for me. I put this is like a time capsule of sounds that are the most important to me. I'll put this was my sound. This basically formed my musical taste. So when I found out a band from China did it that well, it kind of blew my mind. I remember that, dude. I remember being like, wow, this is kind of crazy. I like this so much. Also, the song Come Together with a name like that, how could you write a song called Come Together and it not be awesome? What a giant L would that be? Like, they had this song called Come Together, but it kind of sucks. You're like, what? And then they have the song New York City's a Closer. That one was very clearly done in the spirit of Tim Armstrong and like Indestructible. That song to me sounded like Indestructible.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. I also gave this one a 9.5 out of 10. That was written down. That was written down before we talked.
9.5 out of 10.
The only reason that I didn't give it a higher grade was because it was a little too long and there was like 2 songs that I didn't really care for.
Big score. Big score.
Both of these albums are like exactly the kind of music I listen to every day of my life. Like there's some heavy biases here with these two. Like
go ahead.
When the guy told me that, hey, you should do these two, I was like, yeah, done. Like
he knows what you like.
Right.
He knows that you're gonna love these albums, I like this one. I had a good time with it. My favorite songs on the record probably That's What I Know. I liked 88 and 99 was a fun one.
Look what number that is.
It's After Summer Afternoon.
Oh yeah. That's actually what
was a fun one. Coming to the USA is a good one. Give Me the Cash is probably was I think I'm gonna call that the favorite on the record for me.
Dude,
too.
What about the song Oi Man?
I can't remember that one.
Dude, these guys are awesome. There's like, and I say this with all respect, dude. What a bunch of goofy dudes, bro. Like I wish I could have hung out with these guys. Like, and the thing is, I think they're still around, maybe, and if not, they were recently. Like,
I think there's some iteration of them. There's a documentary about Chinese punk, and they're in it.
Man, I need to watch that.
Yeah, and there's another band from China called SMBZ that was kind of contemporaries with these guys.
Okay,
similar type of music, but yeah, I would just really like to like look at more like the sociological perspective of punk in China to kind of understand where their heads were at with this shit, because it'll give you more perspective.
Well, even with my perspective of being like, yeah, the songs don't sound like they have all the sounds, but the lyrics are different. It didn't even occur to me that maybe they weren't allowed to talk about certain. It didn't even like I didn't even process that.
I don't know if you remember this in like history class or not, but in 1989,
I can tell you I don't.
In 1989, there was
stand up and take a look around. Oh, sorry.
A bunch of students that were shot at a protest in China.
Well, that's not funny, bro.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. Okay, so in China, you said?
Yeah.
Wait. Students were shot during I think I do know about this. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So whatever, the military police essentially just mowed down a bunch of students.
That's
and they were protesting whatever government stuff was happening at the time, and it's a different place to be, and things are a lot more risky when you could potentially be killed for what you say.
Man, you ain't kidding.
So you got to take things into perspective that way too. I don't really know, man. I mean, like, as much as like ideologically, I love the idea of Marxism and communism. It wasn't exactly done the best.
I've always thought of communism as like an impossibility just because people are inherently selfish and lazy, and some people are inherently harder workers, and some people are inherently mean. Some people, so people, there's not like a blanket statement, right? But there are people that are deep down inside a certain way, and there's no way to convince me that people would just suddenly decide, hey, if we can all, because I mean, we have that opportunity every day in America to decide that we're going to help each other, and we don't, you know. And I say we don't because I have to say we because we're one country, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's a class thing, dude. Like the rich people, for whatever reason, don't see the need to help others. I can't imagine being rich and not helping people. Like it doesn't even, I don't understand that way of life.
No, I get it. But the point of me bringing that up was like, there's a lot of dark clouds there, right? There's a lot of history that this country kind of like underwent, and there was a revolution, cultural like revolution that happened in the 60s. So there's a lot of undercurrent and reasons why maybe music happened the way it did and why certain things weren't able to be said. You know what I mean? If you look at a country like Indonesia, for instance, like Southeast Asia, they have a crazy hardcore scene down there.
No, Indonesia has a crazy punk rock, hardcore, cassette tape. There's all kinds of scenes down there.
Grindcore scene too down there, like the extreme music scene.
Shout out Indonesia straight up though. Like you're not joking. Indonesia's rad.
Rad hardcore bands in Indonesia, man. Amazing.
Dude, they have like music like this Rancid-esque stuff. They've got lots of that too. I love Indonesia. I was trying to do a video on Indonesia and it just never came to fruition because of some stuff. I'll tell you later.
But they're more inclined to like be a little more political and like really like, because there's a lot of like crusty bands that come out of there too, and they talk about like anti-police stuff and anti-war nuclear shit and like xenophobia and all the bullshit that happens in the world. But like, I don't know like how safe it was to really speak out against the government at that time.
Probably not very.
So I mean, or politics or like on social issues and stuff. So, I mean, that's why you get songs like Hang Out Tonight.
Right.
And like, because that's as close as you're going to get.
I mean, if you read between the lines, you know what they're saying. I mean, look at, there's plenty of songs on here that you can just like, you can be like, yeah, bro, I got you, dude. I get it. But I mean, what you do is you take the sound and you go, okay, who do these guys emulate? Oh, The Clash and Rancid. I bet you they've got similar politics.
Right. So then you think about that. But then again, like, Japanese bands, you got to think like, wow, like no wonder there's so many crust and hardcore and fucking extremely noisy and raw bands that came out of Japan since the 80s. They got bombed, man. They got fucking destroyed. So it's like they're pissed off, And if you're gonna have any crust punk and D beat coming out of any country, Japan's the fucking perfect place for that shit.
You're not wrong.
So it's just it all just kind of comes back to like history. I think in a lot of ways. So,
man, you've intrigued me to go look into some stuff. If you get a link to a documentary that you think's worth watching, let me know. Send it to me, and then I'll also post it on the video. And I think this might be a part one of a two-parter with these two albums because I might have Rob listen to them as well. I would love to hear his feedback on them because I also know he likes this kind of music, but I bet he doesn't know Brainfield. He might, maybe he does. He might.
Rob, if you watch this, I know I've seen your videos. You're an extremely articulate and intelligent person. So I'd be curious to kind of see what he how he kind of historically talks about this stuff. And it'd be interesting. I'm just scratching the surface and learning. So
it's cool, man. I mean, this is one of the beautiful things about having the opportunity to do this is that I get to learn things from my friend who I've actually got to be friends with because of my channel. Like there's so many reasons to love what I do.
Oh, totally.
And I get to learn stuff and I've never claimed to be somebody I'm not. So I have no issue being like, I had no idea about that. I'm going to go look it up, dude. Like it's all good. You know what I'm finding out though? The longer I do this and the more that I'm just open and honest about who I am and what I know and what I don't, I think a lot of people are like that and people just want somebody else to be like that so that they can go, oh yeah, I didn't know that either. Because if you're always like, yeah, I knew this, people don't have the people
totally
right. People are insecure. They don't want to. And so then, I can handle a little bit of, people dogging on me just to get to the people that I know
It's
are
okay
worth.
to know things as long as you're willing to learn, man.
Right.
And
Well, you know,
have an open mind about stuff and just really.
oh, dude, I didn't want to do all that though. I wasn't trying to like change my mind.
So anyway,
But,
yeah, this is cool, interesting.
yeah, good stuff, man. I'll come up with something. We'll talk again in a couple of weeks, man. I know you got to get out of here. Don't hang up quite yet, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. This was fun. Like these videos, man. Subscribe. We're trying to hit that 13K. We're not that far. We're like less than 500 away from 13K now, which is pretty close to 15,000. So
Right.
I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping the end of this year we're somewhere in the 15 to 20 range.
And if anyone knows anything about Chinese punk, please fucking educate me, us.
If there's anything I know about the comment section, is that if they do know it, they will tell us. I promise.
Perfect.
Especially if we got it even a little bit wrong. So
tell me that I'm a poser that doesn't know anything. That's really what I want to see.
I've gotten to the point to where I think they've convinced me I am a poser.
That's cool.
And I don't know anything about punk.
Well,
I shouldn't be doing this, and I certainly shouldn't be helping my people and supporting my scene. That's terrible. Terrible way to live, Nitty. Awesome, dude. We'll come up with a cool subject for the next time. Cool. Anybody that's in Patreon, if you have an idea or you got a request, let me know. Dude, don't do that. Oh, he did it. Oh, he got there. He got there. I know who you're thinking of too.
And what's gonna happen? Hey.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right, check this out. This is